Today's star is all the way from France. He's singing I Don't Need Your Love, and it's by an artist, French artist called Lucky Love. Who is Lucky Love? It would be difficult to find a better stage name than Lucky Love, wouldn't it? The name is almost as delightful as it is surprising, given the history of his music has been built on lost love and broken hearts. And in his lyrics, Luc Bruyère, his real name, explores an odyssey of romantic feelings while questioning notions of gender, especially masculinity. Now that was, I feel, this research more in relation to the song Masculinity, because that was a sentimental and romantic approach to music, which that particular song earned him a spot on the soundtrack of the Gucci fashion show during the Milan Men Fall-Winter 2024-25 Fashion Week, as selected by the American producer Mark Ronson. What better opportunity to revisit the already rich career journey of this young multidisciplinary artist. Lucky Love is adored by the fashion scene, with the Gucci Men's Fall-Winter behind him. Sabato De Sarno is not the first designer to call on Lucky Love's talent for the Fashion Week show. John Galliano, has already offered a similar platform to the artist for the Maison Margiela Spring-Summer 2024 fashion show. It was his track, and this is what has propelled him to my attention, Masculinity, that opened the Gucci show, so composed by producers Paco de Rosso and Princely, famous for the long-standing collaboration with Belgian rapper Damso. That particular song tackled the norms of masculinity in a series of spiteful questions, including, do I kiss like a boy and should I spit like a boy? And the artist asked those questions during the video, during the lyrics, in a voice on the verge of breaking. So it's not surprising to see such an anthem resonate so strongly in the world of men's fashion, having become the soundtrack not only for one, but two major fashion shows in less than a year. And whilst the very idea of masculinity is a concept that some reject and others deconstruct, the fashion industry itself is undergoing a profound reassessment, being both a prisoner and an initiator of gender roles. In recent years, the rise of co-ed shows, Alessandro Michel initiated this change at Gucci as early as 2016, and the rejection of gender labels by young designers are evident, from Anthony Alvarez with Blue Marble to Florentine Guimaraes and Kevin Knopbanks, the designers of Egon Lab. But the year of 2023 seems to have accelerated the process, and Thomas Brown inaugurated his first co-ed haute couture show in July, whilst the Italian house Etro announced a co-ed show for the Milan Fashion Week in 2024. Now, when it comes to Lucky Love, fashion, as I've just mentioned, is evident. For somebody who started his career in modelling, he is a very photogenic young man. In fact, it's hard to find an artistic field that Luc Bruyère, his real name, hasn't tried to conquer, from dance to theatre and even poetry. So whilst his language is warrior-like in lyrics and tone and deliverance on stage, his approach in real life is gentle, motivated by an immoderate love for poetic expression in all its forms. Born in Lille with one arm, his childhood was an isolated one, spent far from others, during which words became precious allies that never left him, whether they were Rimbaud or Patti Smith. A special affection for outcasts was born. Is the rejection of his fellow human beings to be seen as the birth of a powerful rage, prompting a desire to live 1,000 lives? In any case, it seems to have guided the artist's every step, as he seems to have tried his hand at everything. First, he was a protege dancer at just 5 years old, under the guidance of choreographer Carolyn Carlson at the National Choreographic Centre of Roubaix, before flying to the Paris Opera, where he rubbed shoulders with Marie-Agnes Gilliot. This was his first introduction to music, as he declared on the Basque TV show. When you dance, you listen to everything, and you dance to everything. Now, as a solitary and turbulent child, he faced numerous expulsions before joining Saint-Luc, an art school in Brussels, where he aspired to become a visual artist. But destiny, as well as a brief appearance on TV, led him to the doors of Cours Florent. He shared the stage with Patrice Dallier, Joey Starr and David Bobet, playing Elephant Man, presented in Paris in 2019. He joined the Madame Arthur cabaret troupe, in which he became a transvestite, transformed into La Femme aux Mille Hommes, the Venus of 1,000 Men in English. Sobriquet borrowed notably from his amusing acronym, LVMH. She allowed me to touch my truth, declared the artist in the documentary Lucky, dedicated to himself, and that was directed by Anthony Vibrud and Lorraine Dennis. Now, when it comes to the pop music you're about to hear, and his career in pop, Denderasi Lucky's Love first album was released in June 2023. The record was inspired by the likes of Arca and Kate Tempest, and features singer Juliette Armanet, a close friend of the artist. To build the foundations of his singing career, Lucky Love surrounded himself with the most sought-after producers of the moment. First, there was the aforementioned Paco de la Rosso and Princely, then with Nicolas Petitfrère, aka Nomac, a French close to PC Music, label of a British producer A.G. Cook, and that was active between 2013 and 23, who has worked with Charlie XCX and Lolo Soué. The result is a 6-track album with texture almost as soft, as elegant as velvet. That was the result. My music is right between the party and the moment, just after the party, because I'm extremely melancholic, he confessed to GQ, as if to identify in an indefinable and mystical space and time. Above all, Lucky's Love's music, Rizzoli pop and grandiose, for example, like his track Now I Don't Need Your Love, which we're about to play, his most recent piece, speaks only of love, whether it be happy or tragic. Above all, it is always liberating. He was the figurehead of Madame Arthur's cabaret for a long time, and Lucky Love is the exuberance of a rock star, as you're going to see, in the modesty of a poet. The French singer has already lived 1,000 lives, and his poetic, dark songs echo all of them. The promise of a dense musical haunted by the spirit of Freddie Mercury and Amy Winehouse rings true. The muse of Yves Saint Laurent and Juliette, Armand's protégée, has had to battle many demons, but this angst has thankfully made him into a luminous, thrilling artist that is simply spellbinding.
Am I finally enough for you? Am I worth your precious time? Can't believe why you pulled me through. 'Cause tonight it's me, myself, and I. On this twilight I won't come home. My lips are sealed, my eyes is fire. Fire, fire, fire. But here you come and go. Tonight, tonight, tonight. Oh, 'cause tonight it's me, myself, and I. On this twilight I won't come home. My lips are sealed, my eyes is fire. But here you come and go. And I work so hard to please you all, to be the one you will bring home. But now I'm better on my own. No, I don't need your love. No, I don't need. No, I don't need your love. No, I don't need. No, I don't need your love. No, I don't need. No, I don't need your love. Your love, I don't need your love. Tonight, I think I'm more than enough for you. You're not worth my precious time. Can't believe why you pulled me through. it's me, myself, and I. On this by lights, I won't come home. My lips are silk, my eyes set fire. Fire, fire, fire. But you come and go. Tonight, 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 oh. 'Cause tonight it's me, myself, and I. Long days by lights, I won't come home. My lips are silk, my eyes is fire. But you come and go. And I work so hard to please you, oh, to be the one you will bring home. But now I'm better on my own. No, I don't need your love. I would have done anything for your love. But I can tell that now I don't need your love. No, I don't need your love. I love me. 'Cause tonight it's me, myself, and I. Long this point lights, I won't come home. My lips are silk, my eyes is fire. But you come and go. And I work so hard to please you, oh, to be the one you will bring home. But now I'm better on my own. No, I don't need your love.
That is your introduction to Lucky Love. Well, he mightn't need that person's love, but as I said before, when it comes to this particular track, it speaks of love, whether it be happy or tragic, and above all, liberating. Tonight, and I'm finally enough for you. Am I worth your precious time, he asks. Can't believe what you put me through. 'Cause tonight it's me, myself, and I. Long days, bright lights. I won't come home. My lips are silk, my ass is fire. But you come and go. So it's almost like contemplation of a situation where there has been a recognition in the relationship that it's come to an end. And as he goes through the thought process of what's happening to him, he doesn't want to go back home. It's the place where he feels now, instead of a warm, cozy environment, it's a cold, dark, gloomy place. So he needs time to think. Because he continues, but you come and go, giving that freedom to the other person. You've got a set of keys, you can come and go. But for now, I won't be part of that routine where when you do come home, I'm there. Because tonight, he continues, it's me, myself, and I, long days, bright lights. And that gives you almost an image of a person away from their home, in another place. It could be his parental home, it could be a friend's place, but it's somewhere where his thought process, you think of the light in the bedroom on, he's sitting on the bed and he's going through the whole process again. Now, I'm not saying Lucky Love has had no love in his life, but I'm sure with the disability he has encompassed the worst of the worst. People who had empathy with him, people who sympathised with his disability, but somehow a relationship began. And then what happens in this situation is a lot of people can't handle it and they step back. It's almost like they've got the problem. But yet, Lucky Love was born with a perceived problem that he never, from a young age, he was a dancer. Remember what I told you before. And he progressed by, being thrown out of school because people are the worst kind of bullies in school. And he found his solace in his protege. He found his solace in other people in theatre schools to express himself and get rid of that frustration. And then he found the wonder of pop music and writing songs and lyrically being able to express where he is now mentally. Because he says, my lips are silk, my ass is fire, but you come and go. In other words, because it's YouTube, I have to keep it clean. You can get the metaphorical meaning of what my ass is fire. In other words, for sexual purposes, his partner has come and gone. For maybe just that reason, gratification. But he got none, because he said, to please you all, to be the one you'll bring home. But now I'm better on my own. So to please you all, he's always put on a false persona, a false smile, and lived through the sad times. But he's come to the realization when he repeats, now I don't need your love, repeatedly. And tonight, am I finally enough for you? He asked the most important question. They've got a home, they've built a life, but he's coming and going too much. And when you've got an absent partner at night time, you do quiz where they are. It's logic. So he does, and he feels he's obviously seeking solace and comfort in the arms of somebody else. And then he says, he repeats, I won't come home because tonight my lips are silk, my ass is fire, but you come and go. He keeps repeating that. And then, now I don't need your love, now I don't need your love. But at the very end of the lyrics, because it's repeated, he says, now I don't need your love. He comes to the resolution that, okay, I was into this person, I love them, they're not into me, but what I'm decided to do is to be on my own and just take a deep breath, look at the fortunate life he has, because he's been with, forget what's happened in the last year of the fashion houses adoring him. He's been a model, he's been at theatre school, he's accomplished so much. So if the love aspect of somebody looking at his disability and thinking that's going to alienate me from committing to you, and he's left up again in a situation where he's feeling, here we go again. That happens to a lot of people. But he came to the resolvement, that's it. And life has to move on. And he's got enough going in his life to move on. And he doesn't need their love, because he loves himself far too much to allow himself to fall far too low. He's tasted the gravel on the ground. And the only way when you've tasted that gravel on the ground is back up in life. And at the moment, he's got a great life. And if he needs a void filled with love, he'll have plenty of them. But as always, the right one will come along that will truly accept him for himself like he does. And that's the most important thing he could have learned from all those mishaps. Thank you for listening. Take care.